Hi everyone, hope you're all well. In today's video we're going to talk about the popular SEO plugin called Yoast and how to set it up. So Yoast is an SEO plugin and it's used for search engine optimization for WordPress websites. It was created by Divak and his team at Yoast. The plugin helps website owners optimize their content for search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo. If you go onto their website, you can see a lot of Yoast's main features, including content analysis, meaning that the Yoast plugin will analyze your content and provide suggestions for improving your SEO. It checks for things like keyword density, readability, and meta tags. It also has XML sitemap generation, so it'll automatically generate an XML sitemap of your website, making it easier for search engines to crawl and index your pages. There's also really good social media integrations. The plugin allows you to add social media metadata to your pages, making them more shareable on social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. There's also some advanced settings for more experienced users, and these allow you to customize things like breadcrumbs, permalinks, and RSS feeds. And there's also redirects as well. So the plugin makes it really easy to set up redirects for old pages on your website that have been moved or deleted. Some of the premium features include premium 24/7 support, so if you ever have any issues either with the plugin or even have any questions about some of the SEO features, you'll have access to the 24 customer support, so you can contact them easily at any time to get helpful advice, troubleshooting from their team. Overall, it's a really good and powerful tool for optimizing your website for search engines and improving your online visibility. When it comes to Yoast, there is a premium and a free version. With the free version, there are some limitations, but there's still a lot that you can do with the free version. What I suggest is, if you're new to optimizing your site for SEO, is to play around with the free version, optimize every single page on your website, every single blog, and then once you have them at an optimal level as much as possible, then maybe consider going for the premium to get more information and more analytics about your SEO. So to get started, we're going to download the free version of Yoast. You can download it directly from your plugin dashboard on the WordPress directory. Once you're logged into your website, what you want to do is go into plugins. And you're looking for the add new button. It's really important at this point that you make sure that you don't have any other SEO plugin installed on your website. Things like all-in-one SEO, rank math, all of these are other types of SEO plugins, and you don't need more than one, and you definitely don't need to have that more than one either. Two or more SEO plugins activated on one site can clash with each other and can cause a lot more issues. So just make sure all the other SEO plugins are deactivated and removed. What you want to do then is click Add New, and just type in Yoast on the little search bar here. Sometimes you might find it on the front page, but if not, you can just use the search bar and just type in Yoast. Click Install Now. And once it's done installing, you just want to click on the Activate button to activate it onto your site. Your page will then refresh, and you should be taken to the Yoast installation wizard. And what you can do is you can go through the wizard, or you can just skip it and just start optimizing your pages and your posts. The wizard is pretty straightforward to go forward. So if you want to click on Start First Time Configuration, you'll fill in basic details like the name of your business and things like that. So what it'll do first, it'll analyze your site the way Google does, and then it'll immediately show you any technical issues that you'll need fixing and what content needs to be optimized. So you want to click continue, and then it'll start asking you through the site representation. So it'll ask you questions about your site or your organization. Does it represent an organization or a person? The name of your website and the name of your organization, and then you want to select a logo as well. And then the next step, then you want to add any social media profiles that you have, and you just take the link of the social media profiles. So you can do Facebook, Twitter, any other social media profiles. So if you have like a LinkedIn, Instagram, things like that, you just add as many as you can, and they'll optimize the metadata for those platforms as well. And then just some personal preferences, it'll ask if it wants to track your site data or not, and this will be tracked by Yoast as well, so it's up to you if you want them to have that kind of information or not. And then finally, you can also sign up for the newspaper as well. And that's it. So now that they have analyzed your site, you've different options, so you can start optimizing the site as well by visiting your SEO dashboard. So if we click on that, so here is where they'll add any sort of SEO problems. So in this example, there isn't any, but any problems that you'll have, or any problems that they'll pick up during the analysis stage, it'll show up here with all the problems and the recommendations on how to fix them. So that's sort of a really handy thing to add. So make sure when you first install Yoast, you go through the first time configuration. If you ever want to come back to the Yoast tab, by the way, it's just a new tab that's on the left-hand menu under General. So you can always come back to this. So now that the first time configuration is done, what you can do now is start optimizing your pages and post content. So for example, if we go into the post dashboard here, you can see now there's little options there's new columns for the SEO. So things like you get a score for your SEO, and you get a readability score as well. And then you also get the brief sort of SEO title, meta description, and the key phrase. If you don't see these new columns, what you want to do is go into screen options, and then you can see the columns being ticked here. So it could be that these columns aren't ticked, so you're not seeing them. Obviously you don't need them if you don't want anything too cluttered, so you can just keep the readability score and the SEO score just so you have that, and any other categories or any other columns that you think you might need. But yeah, when you go into your posts, and your pages also should be the same, you'll see new columns for SEO, things like the title and the readability score and the SEO score, and that way you can kind of keep track on what pages or what blogs need to be updated, what pages or blog are okay. And it uses a traffic light system, so anything that's marked in red is very important, you need to change it. Everything in orange is not as important, not as high priority, but still would be good to change. And then anything in green then means you're doing okay. So for example, if we were to go and create a new blog, so we'll take this one here. So you can see we've got the blog here, we've written the blog, we've written the title, we've written the blog content, we've added images, things like that. So now that the blog itself is ready, we can go over what Yoast recommends for improvement, basically. So you can see on the right here, we've got the Yoast SEO section here. To see in depth what needs to be improved, you want to go into this top tab here, and this is the Yoast side panel here. So what you want to do is go through essentially everything that you need to do. So for example, if you go into SEO analysis, this is where they'll tell you what you're missing and what you need to do. So for example, because we haven't added in a key phrase yet, a lot of things are red. Key phrases are basically words or phrases that you want this specific post to rank for. So if you're writing a post about traveling in London, then maybe the key phrase would be traveling in London, or traveling or London, and things like that. It's really important that you add in a key phrase, because then it lets Google know what this page is going to be about, and it'll help you sort of rank in search engines. This page will sort of rank in search engines that you want it to rank for. It's essentially the main search phrase that you want this post to rank for. So the first thing that you want to do is add in a key phrase, and then what Yoast will do then will analyze this blog and see what it needs in terms of improvement for SEO. So if you go into the analysis results, you can see there's 4 problems, things like the key phrase length, meta description, all of that. So these are all things that will be improved once you add the key phrase. So for example, if we add the key phrase as London, you can see it's gone from red to orange, and if you scroll down you can see what you're doing well. So things like the key phrase is now in the slug, so the slug being the URL of the post. You want the key, so Yoast like it whenever the key phrase is in the slug, and so search engines will rank that higher. In terms of key phrase length, and it's a good length, and then the density being the how many times the key phrase shows up in this text. So it was found 24 times, so it's obviously a good number of times for it to show up. Key phrase being in the introduction, so you want the key phrase to not only be within your content but also within the first maybe 10% of the content, so in the introduction as well, and that the key phrase is also in the title, so the title being the title of the blog post, so it's at the title up here. Other things that you're doing that shows you that you're doing well is things like outbound links. Outbound links being links to other pages that aren't on your website. This could be another website, this could be links to social media, all of those kinds of outbound links. So it's good to have them within your page, and obviously you get marked up if you have them there. Images as well, so it's good to have images to break up the text and improve the sort of readability of it. It also helps if there's an image with the key phrase as the alt text, so make sure you also have that as well, and that it's not a previously used key phrase. So obviously you can set a key phrase for every single page, every single post, but you want to use different key phrases for each page as well, and you get kind of marked a bit higher for that. So another tab is you've got problems. We did good results, so now there's also improvements and problems. So with the improvements, it's talking about the image key phrase. So it'll explain exactly. So out of 6 images on this page, 6 have all attributes with words from a key phrase. That's a bit much. Only include the key phrase or its synonyms when it really fits the image. So you want to be careful how you're using the key phrase to describe the image. If it does make sense and it is applicable to the image, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. Next thing then is the problems. So one thing that it'll say is link the key phrase. It's saying that you're linking to another page with words you want this page to rank for, so it's highlighting that you shouldn't do that. So essentially when you have the key phrase within the text, you don't want it to link to another part of the page because you want that keyword to be ranking on this specific page. And then another thing that they're asking for is key phrase in subheadings. So obviously you've got your text here and it's broken up in different subheadings. You've got this one is like a H2, H3, you might have a H4 or 5, whatever, all of that in there. So it's asking you to use more key phrases within the subheadings. So I think there's one like in here, but so then maybe try incorporating key phrases in like heading 3s, heading 4s, and get a good variety. Another thing they're asking then is there's no internal links. So internal links obviously is the opposite of outbound links. These are links that link to other pages of your website, but still within your website. So it could be another blog, it could be a page, it could be the contact us page, all those count as internal links. So in this case, it's saying that there's no internal links on this page, so you want to make sure that you add some. Another thing that's saying is the meta description length. So the meta description is the small kind of description that will show up on the search results page of a website. So when this page is ranking and it's on the search results page, it'll show the title and obviously the meta description. So you want that description to describe this page or post specifically and not the site as a whole. It's something that search engines will use to see what your site is about, but it's also something that customers or clients will use and visitors of your website will use to see okay, what is this page about before I even click into it? Is this related to what I'm looking for? So you want to make sure that you use your own meta description, and it does describe accurately what this post is about. To edit the meta description, what you want to do is actually scroll down on the post and keep scrolling until you get to the bottom. So you can see there's another sort of Yoast section here. So key phrase, it can be added here. And what this does here is this part is showing you the preview of the Google search results. So if you click on desktop even, this is what the user will see whenever this post shows up on search results. So they'll see the title, they'll see this slug, and they'll see this meta description as well. So right now we don't have one. So what you want to do is in this meta description box here, you want to just type in the meta description of the page. I'll just, for this example, just type in a few words here. And you can see as I'm typing, there's a little bar here. And that's there to let me know if I'm writing too much or too little. So you can see right now I'm still writing too much. And if you click into SEO analysis, so this is the same SEO analysis that's up here, it's just in a different place now. So if we go into SEO analysis, you can see in the improvement meta description length is now coming up and that it's over 156 characters. So to ensure that it's actually the full description is visible, you should reduce the length. So maybe if we'll start removing a few sentences, a few words, it'll start, the bar will go down a bit. So you can see now that it's in the green, it's a good length, so we can keep it that way. The trick with meta description is that you want to make sure that you're writing enough within Google, and you want to make sure you're writing enough that it shows within the Google search result engines, and also that it's readable to the user. They can, once they read that, they can understand what this page is going to be about, and then they click into it. It does need to accurately describe the page, but then also fit within the box that Google give you. So now you can see as we've added in more descriptions, more text, our SEO analysis score has gone to green. If we click back here, it should, yeah, so it's all being listed out here, but it should also be listed here as well. So you can see under good results, we've got the text length, key phrase in the slug, previous use key phrase in the meta description. All of these were doing well. So the only problems now then is things like linking too many links to the key phrase in subheadings. Use more key phrases and synonyms in your H2 and H3 subheadings. If we were to add a few into the subheadings, for example, here, and then we've added one here as well. If we scroll down, you can see our score has improved a bit more. So we no longer have the key phrases in the subheading as an issue. Yep, so key phrase in subheading, and it lets you know exactly where and how the subheadings are being used. So 3 of your H2 and H3 subheadings reflect the topic of your copy, which is good. So you can see as soon as you make the changes, Yoast will analyze the page again really quickly and update your score. So it's very quick like that. So that's kind of essentially, you want to use this part here, the analysis, as like a little checklist to see, okay, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? Is there any more opportunity to optimize this blog post? And then another thing that you might notice here is key phrase distribution. So have you evenly distributed your focus key phrase throughout the whole text? So you can see that's a bit grayed out because we currently don't have access to that. As previously mentioned, the basic Yoast SEO plugin in its basic form is free, but there is a paid version as well that gives you access to more things. Things like, for example, within the analysis, it'll tell you a bit more about the key phrase distribution. Another thing that it'll do is it'll let you have something called get related key phrase. And related key phrases are basically variants or synonyms or semantically related terms, and that relate to your main keyword that you're trying to target and trying to rank for on search engine. The main reason why you would use related keywords in your text is that they will make your text sort of easier to read. If you write a text, if you write this content and the keyword is London, and you're constantly using the word London in every other sentence, your text won't flow naturally and it becomes unreadable, and readers are most likely to stop reading and leave your page or your post, and you'll lose your audience. So that's why you should aim for variation in your writing. So you've got your focus keyword here. What you can do then is get related key phrases, and then that will count as another key phrase, and it's something that then Yoast will pick up on and then know that you're using the key phrase over and over again. But again, so to get the option of related key phrases, you actually would need to pay the premium. But we can go over that in shortly. But essentially, that's if you're ever seeing any options there that are asking for that are grayed out, it just means that you have the basic. You would need to get the premium to see what the problem is. Same with, so this is the SEO analysis tab. There's also premium SEO analysis, and it'll tell you a bit more things like how to target multiple key phrases, using synonyms, plurals, and variations, things like that. So you'll get a little bit more analysis with the premium as well. But you can still do a lot with the basic SEO analysis. There's still lots of improvements that you can make, and you can see just making even some of them, our score already increased, our SEO analysis score already increased. So there is still a lot that you can do with the basic Yoast. The other thing you want to make sure then is that the content readability is also as high as possible. When they talk about readability, they're really talking about how easy is the content for users to read, like how is it easy for them to read, is it easy for them to understand. So what they'll do is Yoast will scan this and then give you, similar to the SEO analysis, they'll scan the post and they'll tell you overall what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. So for example, good results are down here, so it's making use of lots of transition words. In terms of paragraph length, none of the paragraphs are too long, so you don't want sort of long bits of paragraph because those can be quite off-putting to users. Subheading distribution, so as in your text is being distributed or broken up by some subheadings, again making it easy for the user, and things like passive voice, so you using both the passive and active voice, so you're using enough active voice within your text. And it also tells you some problems, things like sentence length. So if some of the sentences are too long, it'll tell you to shorten some of your sentences, and it gives you sort of an approximate of what to aim for. And then consecutive sentences as well. So the text contains 3 consecutive sentences starting with the same word, and it's just asking you to change it. So it analyzes it directly and does give you sort of exact areas and where to change. And again, there's still some changes to be made, but it's kind of grayed out, so you know that you need to purchase the premium to get it. Things like word complexity, is your vocabulary suited for a larger audience? So Yoast can also tell you that as well and give you any hints, or just let you know how to improve if you need to. You'll find with both the analysis and the readability, every single point is linked. So for example, keyword density, meta description length, you can see these are all linked, and what these are essentially these link directly to Yoast's documentation. So for example, if you're having trouble with the key phrase density, you're not sure what it means, or you're not sure why it's important, things like that, if you were to click on the linked area, it takes you directly to Yoast's page, and you can see a big sort of article, and it takes you directly to an article or section where it explains that part of whatever you clicked on. So what is key phrase density, why is it important, and kind of really explains it. So it's like that for all of the areas that are linked within the SEO analysis and the readability sections. So if we were to go on to readability, you can see exactly if you're struggling to understand why some of the points are talking about, you can just click on the link and it should tell you, it should send you to the essentially like a blog post to show you exactly what needs to be done and what it is and things like that. So you can see now, as I've been doing this, our Yoast score has been going up. So obviously our analysis is done, and readability analysis has also improved, although still some areas of improvement there. So there's a lot that, even with the basic, there's a lot that you can do to kind of improve your text and and get to really understand how to best optimize each of your blogs and your posts. Other things that you can do with Yoast, but with Yoast Premium and not the basic, are things like social media previews. So if you were to click on Facebook preview, for example, it'll give you a preview of what this post would look like if someone were to share it on Facebook, or if you were to share it on Facebook. So it's important to know that you can still share the post on Facebook. You just wouldn't have a lot of control over how it's going to be shown. So if you wanted to add a different image altogether if it's being shared on Facebook, you can. If you want to give it a title, description, you can make it all custom, and then make sure that it looks exactly how you want it to on Facebook. On Twitter, it looks exactly how you want it to. And you can add as well. And previously, if you remember during the setup, you could add different different social media profiles. You can add different sort of social media profiles that way. Another thing you can do then is track your SEO performance. So it's not directly from Yoast. It's something called Wincher, and it kind of helps you track your position of your page in search engine results based on your key phrase. So you would need an account and a plan set up with them, but essentially once you have that set up, you can connect to them and you can track your key phrase, what position, and position over time, and things like that. Once you're done and you've published everything, if you go back to the posts dashboard, you can see it's also updated here in the post dashboard as well. So we've got the SEO analysis updated, and we've got the readability updated. If we were to give it the description and title as well, you can see all these are updated. So it updates very quickly, and I think with this sort of overview you can see exactly what posts need to be done, what posts still need to be optimized for SEO and things like that. So as mentioned previously, Yoast in its basic form is free, but there is a paid version. If you go onto their website, you can see the pricing for it. So if you go onto the website under products and then scroll down, so you can see the Yoast SEO free plugin. That's the one that we've been using so far. So it'll have everything that you need to start ranking in search engines, and all of your technical SEO is taken care of, and access to something called their 5 free academy courses. So Yoast have their own kind of academy to learn how to develop your SEO skills. So most of that is actually paid, but you can have access to 5 of the courses for free with the free SEO, but you would need to just create an account. And then obviously you've got the paid version. So this is the premium plugin, and this is the same as, you'll get everything with the Yoast SEO plugin, but then and more. So things like adding in related key phrases, optimizing your site for the right keywords, analyzing the right keywords, getting the previews for Twitter and Facebook. Also give you suggestions as to what you could write. You get all of that included, and you get full access to their SEO academy. And the other thing that you get is also their premium 24/7 support. So anytime you can submit a ticket to them if you're having technical issues with the plugin, if issues understanding some of the content, you can submit a ticket to them, and they'll at any time. If you scroll down, you can see a bit more on the differences between the premium and the free. Things like different types of keywords. So in the free, obviously you can only use one keyword, but in the premium you can use plurals or forms or synonyms or related keywords. If you need more help, you can always ask your questions to the 24/7 support team. 404s, optimizing content. It's a lot more easier with the premium. What I would recommend is actually just get started with the free, because there's so much that you can do with the basic analysis. Make sure every single page and post has everything ticked off with the basic analysis. That way you can build your skills a little bit in terms of how to optimize each post with the basic SEO rules, and then further on down the line, then once you're a bit more comfortable with SEO, then I would suggest getting the premium just for the support, and even just the ability to kind of get the previews, and also get the related key phrase to optimize your content even further. Because you can upgrade at any time. You won't lose any sort of SEO if you were to upgrade in the middle of it. So I think starting off with the basics, see how you do, and then investing in sort of like the premium plugin. And there's loads of docs as well in the blog and things like that as well. So overall, it's a good plugin to use. There's a lot of support for it, and I think there's a lot you can do with the free version as well. So maybe just start off with that, and then try the premium as well. Another thing that kind of comes with the basic SEO is if you go into the Yoast tab here and go into tools, if you ever needed to sort of import or export your site's SEO settings and SEO content to another site, you can just go into Yoast SEO tab here, go into tools, and then click on the import and export, and this imports essentially settings from other SEO plugins and export it to another site if you ever needed to. So if you click on import and export, you can either import the SEO settings on this tab and just click import settings, or you can export the SEO settings on this tab as well. And you can import from other SEO plugins as well. So if there's an SEO plugin, if you're wanting to change your site from using one type of SEO plugin to Yoast, what you do is export the SEO settings of another website and then import it here through the import settings. It's important to note that with Yoast, you can only do this with the Rank Math plugin, and so you would need to make an export on Rank Math and then import it through Yoast. This won't work for other SEO plugins or anything like that. And it should work for a few others as well. And if you go into the pages, you can see there's still more to do, but essentially it's the same as the post. If you click into posts, you've got the tags here, but then also with pages, you've got the score and the tags on this page as well. So you want to make sure you go through every single page, and you want to make sure you go through every single post as well, and at least get the basic done. On the pages, it works the same. So if we click on the About page, for example, so you can see we've got the SEO settings here. We've also got it down here as well, and exactly the same. So you type in your focus key phrase, and then you would just type in all of the settings here. So you'll go through all the analysis results, and you'll just type in anything different. So if you need to add more headings, if you need to change the amount of content that there is, you'll just go through all of the analysis problems similar to how you do it in the post and change it all up within your content. And you can either do it in the settings here, so if you go into Yoast, the little Yoast icon, you can do it there, or you can just scroll down and go into the Yoast settings here. They're both the same. But here's where you'll add the key phrase, the meta description, and where you can see the desktop and mobile results as well. So yeah, you can do it in two places like that. And then once you're done with everything, just make sure you update and save your changes to save the SEO settings.